Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. We are pleased to present our article review for the course LBE 20403 Risk and Crisis Communication. My name is Muhammad Nur Iman and together with my group member Syed Daniel Azzi and Tengku Yusof Syami, we will be presenting our review. And in this presentation, we will discuss two articles related to risk and crisis communication. First article is about Samsung Galaxy Note 7 product recall crisis, while the second article focus on Jacob's crisis communication strategies using image repair theories. For each article, we will cover the APA citation, introduction, crisis development, risk and crisis communication, assessment of damage and crisis resolution, long-term impact, recommendation and lesson learned, and the last one is the conclusion. Without further ado, let's begin with the presentation. Before we begin, let me introduce our group member. In our group, they have three members that will be present our article review. First, I, Muhammad Nur Imam Milasani, and metric number is 124A0583. Next is Syed Daniel Azzi bin Syed Muhammad Shukri. Metric number is 124A0571. The last person is Tengku Yusof Syami bin Tengku Yahya. Metric number is 124A0484. Now let's move on the article that we have selected to review. Good day everyone. I will begin by reviewing the first article titled Consumer Response and Corporate Crisis Communication Strategy in Brand Crisis Event, a case study of Samsung Galaxy Note 7, and this article was written by Min Kun Zia and published in 2025 in the Journal of Education, Humanities and Social Science. For this review, the reference has been cited using the APA 7 edition format, which is the standard references style used in academic writing. For the introduction, this article focuses on the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 crisis, which began shortly after the smartphone was launched in 2016. The device was expected to become Samsung's flagship product and compared directly with Apple's iPhone 7. However, several users reported battery explosion, causing the issue to receive wide media attention. As the crisis grew, Samsung faced product recall, financial losses, and a decline in customer trust. The article aimed to analyze how Samsung managed the crisis by applying different crisis communication theories, including attribution theories, situational crisis communication theories, and image repair theories. These theories explain how organizations should respond during a crisis to minimize reputational damage and regain public confidence.
Now, I will explain the crisis development of the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. The crisis began after the Galaxy Note 7 was launched in August 2016. The smartphone was very successful at first, with over 2.5 million units sold within its first week. However, several users report that their phones overheated and caught fire because of battery defects. This incident quickly attracted worldwide media attention and raised concerns about product safety. Samsung's initial response was slow because the company did not immediately recognize the seriousness of the issue. As more incidents occurred, Samsung announced a global product recall, stopped sales, and offered replacement devices. Although Samsung later apologized and improved its quality control, the delayed response and inconsistent recall strategy caused public criticism and damaged consumer trust.
For the risk and crisis communication part, the article explained that Samsung adopted several crisis communication strategies throughout the Galaxy Note 7 crisis. At the beginning, the company response was considered slow because it did not immediately acknowledge the seriousness of the battery explosion issue. This delayed response caused public concern to increase and reduce consumer confidence in the brand. As the crisis became more severe, Samsung implemented several corrective actions. The company announced a global product recall, suspended the sale of the Galaxy Note 7, carried out investigation to identify the cause of defect, and later issued a public apology. This action showed that Samsung was willing to take responsibility and rebuild public trust. In addition, Samsung also focused on communicating with different stakeholder groups. Consumers receive update and compensation. Investors are informed about the company recovery plan. Employees were given clear internal communication, and suppliers work closely with Samsung to improve product quality. This communication effort play an important role in helping Samsung gradually restore its reputation after the crisis.
The Samsung Galaxy Note 7 crisis caused serious damage to Samsung's reputation and business performance. After multiple reports of battery explosions, the incident quickly spread through global media and social media, creating widespread public concern. As a result, many customers lost confidence in Samsung's product quality and safety. The company also suffered major financial losses due to product recalls, production delays, and declining smartphone sales. In addition, several airlines banned the Galaxy Note 7 from flight, which further damaged Samsung's image and reduced consumer trust in the brand. To manage the crisis effectively, Samsung needed to respond quickly and responsibly. The company should immediately acknowledge the issue and apologize to customers while providing clear information about the problem. Worldwide product recall with refunds or safe replacement was essential to product consumer safety. Samsung also needed to communicate consistently through the media and social media to prevent misinformation. Finally, strengthening product testing, improving quality control, and maintaining transparent communication would help rebuild customer confidence and restore the company's reputation over time.
Next, I will discuss the long-term impact of the crisis. The Galaxy Note 7 incident damaged Samsung's reputation because many consumers questioned the company's commitment to product safety. Samsung also experienced significant financial losses due to the global recall and declining smartphone sales. However, the crisis became an important learning experience. Samsung introduced stricter battery testing, improved supplier management, and strengthened its product quality control procedures. The company also improved its crisis communication by providing faster responses, greater transparency, and better communication with stakeholders. As a result, Samsung gradually regained consumer confidence and recovered its market position. This shows that continuous improvement is essential for long-term organizational recovery.
Based on this case, there are several recommendations for Samsung and other companies. Firstly, companies should improve product safety by conducting more rigorous quality testing before launching new products. They should also develop a comprehensive crisis management plan with a dedicated response team. During a crisis, transparent and consistent communication is essential to maintain public trust. Companies should also treat customers equally across all markets and evaluate their crisis response afterward to identify weakness and improve future preparedness. The Samsung Galaxy Note 7 crisis provides several important lessons. Firstly, companies must respond quickly because delays can make a crisis much worse. Second, honesty and transparency are essential for maintaining public confidence. Customer safety should always be the highest priority, even if it affects short-term profit. Building strong relationships with customers, employee, investors, and supplier also helps organizations recover more effectively. Most importantly, every crisis should be treated as an opportunity to learn, improve, and strengthen future crisis management strategies. In conclusion, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 battery explosion crisis demonstrates how important effective crisis communication is in protecting an organization's reputation and maintaining stakeholder trust. Although Samsung's initial response was slow and consistent, the company later took full responsibility by conducting a global product recall, issuing public apologies, and strengthening its quality control system. These actions reflected the principle of situation crisis communication theory and image repair theory, which is because focus on accountability, corrective action, and rebuilding public confidence. This case also shows that organization must respond quickly, communicate honestly, and address stakeholders' concerns throughout the crisis. Delay or inconsistent communication can make a situation become worse, while transparency helps restore trust. Finally, the Samsung case reminds us that every crisis is an opportunity to learn, improve, and become a stronger organization. That's all about the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 case. Thank you.
Next, I will present the second article titled Analyzing JAKIM Crisis Communication Strategy Using Image Repair Theories. The article was written by Lai Pei An and her co-author and published in 2025 in the Journal of Communication, Language and Culture. For the assignment, I used the APA 7th edition referencing style, which is the standard form used in academic writing. This article serves as the main reference for analyzing how JAKIM manage halal-related crises through effective crisis communication strategies. For introduction part, this article focuses on JAKIM, which is the main authority responsible for halal certification in Malaysia. JAKIM plays an important role in ensuring that halal products comply with Islamic requirements while maintaining public confidence in halal certification system. However, the organization has faced several challenges over the years, including the fake halal logos, smuggling case, and allegation involving non-halal ingredients. This issue create public concern and had the potential to affect the credibility of Malaysia halal certification system. Therefore, this article analyzes how JAKIM managed this crisis by applying image repair theories. The study examines JAKIM's official press statement to understand how its communication strategy had protect the organization's reputation and maintain public trust during halal-related crises.
Now I will explain the crisis development involving JAKIM. Unlike Samsung, JAKIM did not face a single crisis. Instead, it managed several halal-related crises between 2011 and 2023, including the golden churn butter contamination, the Cadbury chocolate controversy, the meat Carter scandal, and allegations involving halal-certified products. These incidents created public concern because many Muslims rely on JAKIM's halal certification when purchasing food and consumer products. As misinformation spread through the media, public confidence in Malaysia's halal certification system was challenged. To manage these issues, JAKIM worked closely with government agencies such as the Ministry of Health, the Department of Chemistry Malaysia, and Department of Veterinary Services to verify information before making official announcements. JAKIM also applied image repair theory by correcting misinformation, explaining its responsibilities, and taking corrective actions. These efforts help maintain halal integrity and restore public confidence.
For risk and crisis communication, According to the article, the CAME applies several crisis communication strategies based on Banyan image repertories. These strategies include denial, evasion of responsibility, reducing offensiveness, and corrective action. Rather than using a single approach for every situation, the CAME selected different strategies depending on the nature of each halal-related issue. The main objective was to protect the organization credibility and maintain public confidence in Malaysia's halal certification system. In terms of communication action, the CAME responded by clarifying false or misleading information through official statement to prevent misunderstanding among the public. The organization was worked closely with relevant government agencies during investigation to ensuring that accurate information was shared and that the investigation process remained transparent. In addition, the CAME educate consumers about halal certification procedures and provide regular updates to reduce confusion and misinformation. Overall, this communication effort playing an important role in maintaining public trust. By responding clearly, working together with relevant authorities, and keeping the public informed, the CAME was able to strengthen the credibility of Malaysia's halal certification system while reducing the spread of false information.
Firstly, I will discuss about the assessment of damage caused by the halal-related crisis faced by JAKIM. The incidents, including the Golden Churn Butter case, the Cadbury Purse sign, DNA allegation, and the Milk Cartel scandal significantly affected public confidence in Malaysia's halal certification system. Since halal certification is directly related to religious belief and consumer trust, any controversy can quickly attract public attention and create widespread concern among Muslim consumers. In addition, this crisis received extensive media coverage and were widely shared on social media, causing misinformation and rumors to spread rapidly before official clarification was released. This not only damaged JAKIM's reputation, but also affected halal certified business that depended on consumer trust. Some companies experienced declining sales, the possibility of product boycotts, and damage to their brand image. Therefore, the biggest impact of the crisis was the loss of public confidence, which is much more difficult to rebuild than financial loss. To minimize the impact of this crisis, JAKIM implemented several effective crisis communication strategies. Firstly, they responded promptly by issuing official media statements to clarify the false information and to provide factual updates to the public. This helped reduce confusion and ensure that relevant information comes directly from the responsible authority. Secondly, JAKIM worked closely with government agencies such as the Ministry of Health, the Department of Chemistry Malaysia, MAKIS, and international halal certification bodies. This collaboration strengthened the credibility of investigation and demonstrated transparency throughout the crisis management process. Furthermore, JAKIM relied on scientific laboratory testing before making any public announcement. For example, in the Cadbury case, halal certificates were temporarily suspended while investigations were conducted to ensure consumer safety and confidence. JAKIM also educated the public about halal certification procedure, e-codes, and halal standards to reduce misunderstanding. Finally, corrective actions such as the product recalls, continuous monitoring, and stricter halal audits helped to restore public trust and strengthen the integrity of Malaysia's halal certification system.
Next, I will discuss the long-term impact of this halal crisis. Initially, the incidents affected public confidence, because consumers became concerned about the credibility of Malaysia's halal certification system. In response, Jakim improved its crisis communication by becoming more transparent and providing clearer explanations through official media statements. The organization also focused on educating the public about halal certification procedures and food labeling. Jakim strengthened its collaboration with various government agencies to ensure investigations were accurate and credible. At the same time, it applied image repair theory by adapting its communication strategies according to each crisis. As a result, Jakim successfully maintained its reputation and reinforced public confidence, contributing to the long-term strength and sustainability of Malaysia's halal industry.
Based on this case study, there are several recommendations that could further improve Jakim's crisis communication strategy. Firstly, Jakim should respond even faster to misinformation because false information can spread within minutes through social media. Providing immediate clarification can prevent rumors from becoming widely believed by the public. Secondly, Jakim should establish a dedicated digital crisis communication team to monitor online discussion, identify viral misinformation, and respond quickly with verified information. This proactive approach will strengthen public confidence. In addition, collaboration with government agencies, halal certification bodies, industry players, and international partners should continue to be strengthened. Effective cooperation allows faster investigation and more coordinated crisis response. Jakim should also expand public education campaign through social media, seminar, and awareness program to improve understanding of halal certification procedure. Lastly, regular crisis simulation exercise should be conducted to ensure that crisis management teams remain well prepared for future halal-related issues. In conclusion, this case provides several important lessons for organizations managing a crisis. The first lesson is that transparency is essential because harness, timely and accurate communication helps maintain public trust even during difficult situations. Organizations should always communicate openly rather than allowing rumors to spread without clarification. Secondly, speed is equally important. Responding quickly can significantly reduce misinformation, public confusion, and reputational damage. Another important lesson is that successful crisis management cannot be achieved by one organization alone. Strong collaboration between government agencies, industry stakeholders, and scientific experts and certification bodies is necessary to ensure that every decision is accurate and credible. Finally, this case highlights the importance of being proactive rather than reactive. Organizations should continuously improve their crisis communication plans, train their crisis management teams, and educate the public before a crisis occurs. By doing so, they can protect, better strengthen their reputation, strengthen stakeholder confidence, and maintain long-term public trust. In conclusion, this article demonstrates that effective crisis communication plays a vital role in maintaining public trust and protecting an organization's reputation, especially in a sensitive area such as halal certification. Jakim successfully managed various halal-related crises by applying Benoit's image repair theory. The organization used strategies such as denial, invention of responsibility, reducing offensiveness, and corrective action, depending on the nature of each crisis. This approach allowed Jakim to respond appropriately while maintaining transparency and stakeholder confidence. The article also highlights the importance of collaboration between government agencies, business organizations, and industry stakeholders. By communicating accurate information, conducting thorough investigation, and educating the public, Jakim was able to reduce misinformation and strengthen confidence in Malaysia's halal certification system. Overall, Jakim's experience showed that transparent communication, timely response, and continuous stakeholder engagement are essential for protecting organizational credibility and ensuring the long-term sustainability of Malaysia's halal industries. That's all from us. Thank you.